Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week, and we stop halfway through for a segment called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. We spun it off. We're at number 138, not 183. We're getting way ahead of ourselves there, Andrea. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning, I put a post out on Instagram asking for questions. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
Time now for Questions, Coffee, and Cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
I've heard a lot of buzz about Nissan going bankrupt within the next year. I don't think it will actually happen. I'm hopeful. What are your thoughts? And have any Nissan executives expressed any concerns?
Well, yeah, I don't think car companies go away. They're not just going to fold their tent and leave. There would maybe be a merger of like-minded companies. There's rumors about Honda coming in. The interesting thing is Honda's not a really big company compared to, say, like Toyota. But yes, I think that's more than likely.
They are collaborating together on EVs. So yes, that is a possibility. Doesn't mean that Honda has to come in and buy the business, but maybe just help and invest in it. Look, globally is where Nissan is struggling, where people are buying Chinese EVs. They're less money. And when you look at a brand like BYD, they look really good. We saw them at the Japanese Mobility Show. But it's not all doom and gloom in North America. The Rogue is actually a good seller for Nissan, and I like some of their new products.
The Kicks.
Yes.
The Kicks is going to sell really well. I don't know. I think it's a realignment of the business. They're going to have to realign the business and be smaller. They got rid of the Renault partnership. They're not part of Renault any longer. They're still associated with Mitsubishi. That's a cost-sharing measure along with Honda. But yeah, they might have. I mean, listen. Stellantis is going to have to go cap in hand looking for someone else to partner up. So maybe that's a partnership. Maybe it could be Stellantis. So I can't remember the name of the European division. It's Peugeot they have, right? And then Chrysler in North America. Then you could throw in Nissan, Mitsubishi. That'd be a crazy combo.
I also think that Nissan did not come forward with hybrids and plug-in hybrids in North America, and they've fallen behind in that category. Initially, we were all about EVs, and Toyota went their way with hybrids and plug-in hybrids, and it turns out that consumers are demanding hybrids. So Nissan really needs to start bringing in those powertrains, and I think that they would do better in North America in general. Big fan of the show, thank you. Any thoughts on the new Outback design, looking a whole lot like an SUV? I thought the appeal to the Outback was its wagon-esque look, but it seems like now that's going away. Not sure what place it'll have in the market now.
I haven't seen it.
You know what? It's only spy shots that are out.
Oh, it's spy shots.
So
yeah.
it's hard to even...
I never judge until I can actually see it. Like all the hubbub around Jaguar with their concept, what's it called, Type 00 or 00, until the actual car is produced, because that's just a concept rendering. I don't pass judgment till it's actually finally done.
I don't even know how people can look at the spy shots and say, wow, it looks more like an SUV and not like a wagon anymore. It still looks like it sits a little bit lower, but maybe a boxier design. I got to see the whole thing.
Got to see it.
In person, and the actual product that's come out. It's popular for Subaru. I would be really surprised if they got rid of the wagon look.
Well, the couple of things that I've learned doing this for many decades now is don't judge it until you see it and drive it for yourself. Because once you see it in person, it can look very different than the pictures. That's one thing. And then a lot of people will say, oh, this doesn't have enough power, doesn't have enough torque, and blah, 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 until you actually drive it. Because it doesn't matter what the numbers are, it's how it's calibrated. Some cars with lower power are just calibrated perfectly and they give a very satisfying drive, and others have more power and it's not done well. So it all comes down to the final product. When we get to drive it, just speculating on spy pictures, I don't know.
And the internet is full of rumors. And so you've got people saying, oh no, Subaru's gotten rid of that wagon design and now they're going to another SUV. Why would they do that? I can barely tell with the spy pictures. Hi guys, love your channel, one of the best out there. Our family of 4 is in the market for a 3-row SUV. Looking at the Honda Pilot or the Acura MDX, interior is such a big factor for some people, including us. Is there a chance there will be more interior color options coming to Canada? We noticed that the US market gets brown, white, and even blue interiors. Why is this the case? Would love your opinion on this.
I don't know why they only bring in black. I mean, they have it available. I don't get it.
Well, the Acura MDX, yeah, there's a good variety of colors for sure in the US. And remember even the ADX with that blue now that they've come, it's like a white and a blue. They call it Orchid. We don't get that in Canada,
Yeah,
so not sure why.
On the Honda HR-V, we get the bright blue exterior color, which they don't get in the US. I've explained this before. The way it works with product planning teams, there's product planning for Honda/Acura USA and one for Canada. Yeah. They have a big long list of things that are available from the manufacturer. That's Honda. And then they say, we want this, 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 and this. And then they put a price associated with that and what the final outcome is going to be profit-wise per unit they sell. So in Canada, they haven't checked all those boxes. And it's a shame because interior color options, we just had the Chevy Equinox. And just the fact that it had a unique and very pleasing looking color combination in the interior was a big reason why we liked it so much.
Yeah, for sure. You see it with Toyota. You don't just see it with Honda and Acura. There are more interior color options, it seems, in the US for whatever reason. Maybe research shows for them when they're doing it that they need more, and in Canada, not so much. Although we hear from you guys all the time and you're saying more interior color options, not just black, please.
I would suspect that there's areas of the country in the United States because of the Sun Belt, right, where you want a light colored car. White cars probably and silver cars sell very well to reflect heat, and same for interior choices. That might be a reason why. Other than that, I can't imagine why.
Remember we went on that redesigned drive event of the MX-5?
MX-5, yes.
And they had that great tan color in the US that we don't get in Canada. And Zach and I were like, oh my God, we totally get that tan color if it was available to us.
If it is not.
I recently got a 2024 Toyota Venza LE. Do you think it would be worth the hassle of trading in for the Mazda CX-50 hybrid?
No. Keep the car you've got. The cheapest car is the one you own.
Goodness, I would never do that. First off, it has the same powertrain. The Venza seats are more comfortable than the CX-50 hybrid. And if you're looking base model to base model, I'm thinking that you're in Canada. There is something that the CX-50 hybrid gets, and that's the panoramic sunroof and also a heated steering wheel. I think the Venza base model does not have a heated steering wheel. And then remember the top trim has got that fixed
Yes, a fixed panel roof. It's not an openable roof. But listen, I think that why take a depreciation loss? Dealers will be dealers, even though the vehicle's still worth good money. They're going to say, well, I don't know. We're only going to give you pennies on the dollar for it. Just drive the car for at least for a few years, and then there's going to be way more options in the future.
Can you explain what horsepower and torque are, and how important should they be when you are looking for a vehicle? We always say this, horsepower is what you pay for, and torque is what you use.
Yes, but technically torque is the ability to twist. It's a twisting function. So torque is just what you think. You torque a wrench down. Excuse me. Horsepower is the rate of change, from what I remember. If you're an engineer, you're going to go, come on, Zach.
Right.
It's the rate of change. Yeah. And torque is usually calculated or captured at lower speeds and mid-range speeds. Horsepower peaks at higher RPMs. So it's the rate of change for horsepower.
And when I look at a non-luxury vehicle, let's say the subcompact class or even the compact class, because they don't typically offer a ton of power in the gas model. Of course, if you go to a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid, that changes. But I look at the torque number in those vehicles because when I want to get away from traffic at a stop sign or a red light, I know I can count on that torque number. And then horsepower on these more powerful vehicles, you get it on the highway and then you can just fly down the highway with great horsepower.
So this vehicle we're sitting in is a Porsche Cayenne diesel. And diesel gives you monster torque at lower and mid-range RPMs. So this engine has 428 pound-feet of torque. That is a lot of torque. But horsepower, I think it's only around 250, 260, which is what you would get in a compact gas SUV in the luxury category. So it's all about the torque, and it's the most satisfying thing to drive because you got that launch away from a light, great passing power at lower speeds. It's great.
And remember the Buick Envista that we drove? We were at a drive event. It's got a great torque number for that class of vehicle. It's not a powerhouse, but I would rather in that class have more torque than I would horsepower.
As Andrea said, you pay for horsepower, you use torque.
Equinox EV versus Kona EV. 3, 2, 1. Equinox EV.
Well, it comes down to size. It's a class bigger. The Kona is in the subcompact class, and the Equinox in the compact. I would even call it close to mid-size because it's got such a long wheelbase. You get lots of leg room. Headroom, not so great. Bigger cargo, maybe longer cargo area. And the big one is all-wheel drive available.
And also, the Equinox EV has more range. It has more power. It doesn't even matter if you get front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. I didn't love the Kona EV, and here's why.
Why?
I found that the cabin was louder than I expected
Really,
for
Andrea?
an electric vehicle. I was not fond of that.
Well, it's interesting because I told this story before. It's worth repeating. We were on a Mazda 3 event, and one of the engineers was talking about the quietness of the Mazda 3 or the Mazda 3. And he had a big chart on the screen, and that car is quieter than a Tesla Model 3. And then he went on. I said, "Can you back that up? Can you explain to me why the Tesla Model 3?" Now, this was years ago when the Model 3 first came out. And he said, well, a lot of EV makers just rest on the fact that there's no internal combustion engine. And they don't invest in the other parts that make a car quiet, which is road and wind noise. So a lot of what you're hearing when you're driving at a steady rate of speed is tire noise, wind noise, engine noise is actually low down the list. So you can have an EV with no internal combustion engine, but all those other parts have not been addressed.
And I find that the Tucson and Sportage Hybrid are both quieter than that Kona EV. I don't know. It was really, really odd because I figure when you get into an EV, it's just going to be really quiet and well insulated. That wasn't the case. I could hear wind noise coming in. Something was going on with the sunroof.
Well, that's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that and then the other thing is there's nowhere to hide, right? If the car is noisy, the engine doesn't mask it. It's just noisy.
Question for Zach. Since loading the dishwasher is his duty, yes it is.
I have other duties too. I have to take the garbage out every night. I got to cut the
We're
grass.
talking specifically
about
the
that, yeah, yeah.
dishwasher. Small plates go wherever they fit, or all plates go on the bottom rack. It's to settle a disagreement with me and my wife.
So I'm not sure what the question
Okay,
is.
so obviously one thinks that small plates go wherever they fit.
Okay,
or
well,
all plates go on the bottom rack.
so our dishwasher, we have a Swedish dishwasher called an Asko, A-S-K-O, Asko.
Asko.
It sounds Japanese, Asko, but it's not. It's Swedish. Go figure. So it really is designed for a certain place to go certain places. It's just the way it is. So the small plates go in one rack, bigger plates on another rack, and then bowls on another side. It's the bowls, Andrea, where they go wherever they'll fit. So our top rack, you know all those little arms that they have? We have them pretty much all flat.
Yeah.
So we can put glasses in there, and then everything else we fill it up with bowls. A lot of bowls go up there. So I think that you're both right. There's special places in the dishwasher for certain items, but then you fill it up with whatever you can.
Tupperware is just a real problem because you've got the lids and then you've got the Tupperware container. And our boys, when they go to work, they take a lunch in a Tupperware container and they come back.
But
and our
that's why-
youngest son seems to think that we also have racks. So he puts the Tupperware on the racks, but he also throws the lids wherever they will fit, anywhere
But that's
on
what I was
the
gonna
racks.
say.
And it doesn't work. So I always take them and put them on the bottom rack.
So we have an Asko, which has a special rack in the middle. So it's 3 racks, but the middle rack is you put in there whatever fits. Perfect for Tupperware.
Have a 2006 RX 330. Love it. But the time has come to get a new car. Just me. So looking at the NX300H or the hybrid Sportage. The NX feels a little cramped, but not sure about the Kia's reliability. Your thoughts, alternatives. Thanks for covering the LA Auto Show for us. So I just want to clarify, you've put NX300H, which is actually the old NX hybrid model. It's now called the NX350H.
Yeah.
So do you think that that's what she
Well,
means?
let's go on both of them.
Okay.
I would just say, because the key part of that question was it's only you. So the space really isn't that big a deal. And whether it's the last gen hybrid or the current gen, it would be my choice.
Okay, so I'm not a big fan of the NX300H only because the technology is so outdated in that vehicle.
It still works,
I
though.
didn't even feel like the heated seats really got hot. I like a hot heated seat.
Andrea likes a
I
hot.
like a hot heated seat.
Andrea's got a hot, you know what?
The heated steering wheel, I didn't even feel like it heated.
I forgot about all that,
Remember?
Andrea. Yeah, you're right.
Now, the
Yeah.
NX350H,
Yes,
the
that's all
newer
fixed.
model, is great. Good technology. Seats are comfortable. They get hot. The heated steering wheel is great. But you will find it smaller for sure, especially in the second row compared to the Sportage.
So there you go.
And you pay more.
And you pay more. I would say, you know, obviously keep your car for a long time. If you can make the stretch for the current model 350, and they've been out for a couple of years now, you might be able to find one used, like off lease, for example. That'd be what I'd choose.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's a proven powertrain. It's
And the
been quite
seat-
reliable. The
Seat
hybrid.
makes your ass hot. That's what I was trying to say. And I
Yes.
thought about it. Should I say it? No, I'm just going to say it, Andrea.
Just say it.
Hot
Just say
ass.
it. Be you, Zach. Be you.
Well, we'll wait till the camera's off.
That is it for us. Thanks for watching. And if you want to get a question in, follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea.
Wait. The bigger question is about the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Should the cutlery go blade and forks and spoons down, or blade and forks and spoons up in the rack? I can remember this clearly when we got our first dishwasher when I was a kid. The woman from Sears came to give us, can you believe this was the customer service? We bought a dishwasher from Sears, and they had a lady come by and show us how to use it. And she said the cutlery and everything goes facing down, so the jet's at the bottom. There you go.
So I want to add to that. When we go to my mom's and I help her clean up after dinner, her and Phil, I help them clean up.
I sit and drink wine.
They always put the cutlery up. So what I don't like about that is I don't want to touch
The end.
dirty cutlery.
Yeah.
I just want to take the end that everyone has held and stick it in.
There you go. Type below. We want to know. Do you put the bowls and the stuff anywhere it'll fit? And do you go cutlery up or cutlery down? We're cutlery down in our house because I'm in charge of the dishwasher, so that's the way that goes.
Yep.
So there you go. What were you saying, Andrea?
I was saying if you want to get a question,
in,
follow along
on
on Instagram at
It's
motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning,
I put
you
a post
say
out.
it.
Let's do this together. Every
Sunday
Sunday I
morning,
put a post
I put
out.
a post out on Instagram
Instagram.
asking for questions. Once we gather our questions, the post is
It's deleted, and we start the show.
Thanks
All right.
for watching.
Bye now.